Next, we're going to learn how to monogram our towels. So I just have a basic white hand towel here. Now, the key to having successful monogramming is marking your towel. So the important thing with monogramming towels is putting some key marks on your towel. Number one is I usually make an inch mark above the woven band here. Now I use a mark be gone. This comes out in the wash. I'll take my ruler and I'll line the number one up here. Draw my line here. Then I fold the towel in half. Give it a light press there with the iron. And then I draw my center line. I also do exactly the same thing to the back. So I have my line 1 inch above the woven line, and then the line down the middle. Because what we're going to do with this is that we're going to float the towel on the stabilizer. Now it's another key embroidery term, floating. I have just stabilized my aqua mesh. Now what I'm going to do is transfer my markings. So on the brother hoop, I have the center. So I'm going to take my ruler, line them up. There's an actual little hash mark right here and a hash mark up there. And I've drawn a light blue mark there. And again here. Here, let me just draw that one a little darker so you can see it clearly. Everything I'm using for this exercise is water soluble, so it will come out in the wash. So what I'm going to do is the bracket that goes onto the machine will be on the left side. And I'm going to float my towel. So I'm going to actually match these marks. That's why I put it on the underside to the lines here. So to float it, you want to use the 505. It's a temporary adhesive. You don't need to use a lot of this. Just be very sparingly. And you want to make sure you spray right where that intersection is. Some people tend to overspray. And if you have asthma like I do, it's not a good thing. So I'm going to fold this, line it up on that line. And then go back here. Now the nice thing about the 505 spray is that it's repositionable. So if I look over here, that matches right on the line I made. So the bulk of my towel will be over here. Do not have the bulk of your towel in the bed of the machine. And remember I said everything is better with topping, so I'm going to cut myself a piece of my Stitch H2O. Now this is on terry towel. It has a nap to it, so it's really important to always use a topper with it. So we'll cut out a piece. Now my monogram is going to be above this line here. So let's just cut a piece. And in this case, I'm actually going to do a name as opposed to a monogram, as opposed to the 3 letters. So again, I'm going to center. My monogram's or my name's going to be here, so I want to put this up a bit because there's nothing going to be stitched here. Let's use my tape. Tape it down. This tape is washable as well. I wish they had this tape 20 years ago. Okay. So now I'm ready to put it into my machine. So on here, I'm actually going to embroider this towel. We're just going to go into our standard text. So we have a selection of, we have 2 pages full, so we have 6 fonts on here. And we could put it in Japanese or Mandarin, although I'm not sure I know how to spell his name that way. So when we're selecting fonts, you have upper and lowercase, you have numbers as well. So we're going to do Tyler's name. So we're going to pick the uppercase T. Now the lowercase, I'm just going to page through. Y. Gotta make sure I spell his name right. Let's go back. We want an L, and then an E, and then an R. Now right here, it's defaulted to a large font. You could change it to a medium or to a small, but we want a large font. So I've typed his name. Let's set it. So you'll notice that Tyler's name is going up and down, but my towel is actually laying horizontally. So I need to rotate that. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit the rotate, 90 degrees. There. Now Tyler is orientated the same way that the towel is. Now keep in mind I drew the line on my towel, so it'll be right through that. But I want to move Tyler so that he's above that line. So let's say OK to this screen. Now we're going to move it. So I just need to move it to the left. Let's take note of where I'm at here. Now keep in mind that this vertical line and horizontal line are the same vertical and horizontal lines I drew on the towel. So I want Tyler's name to be either on or just above that line. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's hit OK. And there's nothing else we need to do. So we're going to go ahead and start stitching. So the foot down. It is now finished embroidering. So let's cut our threads, foot up, and let's take our hoop out. So all you want to do is just take the tape off. Be careful taking the tape off because sometimes it can pull the terry on it and take the loops, make the loops longer. So again, what I usually do is just do a rough cut around here. Stick it out of the hoop. Now for preparing this, what we'll have Tyler do, he'll just take it home, throw it in regular laundry, dry it, and it's ready to go. These are really great gifts if somebody's going on a trip. Then they can actually have their towels with them, especially in the days of COVID right now. Look how that lined up. Isn't that beautiful? The Brother embroidery machine is very easy to center, to realign. I had a little bit of 505 there. That's why I don't put too much 505 in there, because it can pull on the terry. Just rough cut around. And some of us save our little bits of stabilizer, especially when you get to some of the specialty stabilizers. It can be a little on the expensive side, and you want to get good use of the stock that you have. So let's just clean off any long threads. Here's a perfect example of a jump stitch. Okay, here's the thread, and it's tied down to both. So you're just going to snip it. Snip that. Here's another jump stitch. I like to clean up the back of my embroidery. Now some of you may be thinking, well, I would have used purple thread in the back, and that's perfectly acceptable to do. So now Tyler just needs to take this home, throw it in the washing machine, and now he has his own towel. And we are done for today.